Today, I want to talk about a question somebody asked me yesterday. The person asked me, "Why did you decide to become a life coach?" And it just made me smile because if I look at my life, every experience I've gone through, every pain, every disappointment, everything has led me to this point in my life. Like I've said before, I've been single before. I was married. I have children. I've been a career woman. I've been a businesswoman. The list is endless. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I had to pause my career at some point to stay home and take care of my family, take care of everyone. And in the process of doing that, I put my life on hold. Um, I never for once imagined that I would be in a position whereby I would be divorced. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. Nobody goes into a marriage in their right senses with the mindset of being divorced. And it's so sad that the way the society acts is almost like you committed a crime. Um, so many things change when that happens to you. Your friend circle changes, the way you think changes, your priority changes, everything just changes. And I understand what it feels like to be in that position. In fact, your relationship with family, the family that will take sides, which is normal, which happens, and depending on what occurred. But going through a divorce can be a lonely road. And that was one of my inspiration for even becoming a life coach because I know how lonely people going through that journey can feel. I know how much support they need, but they don't get as much support from the society. I've also been a career woman, been somebody that has been a go-getter in my career, in my professional life. I've run a business before. I'm a woman of many skills. I have a lot of skills. Learned how to do so many things. I know how to cook, how to make clothes, how to make hair. I'm constantly learning. I like the idea of learning and growing because the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. I say all that to say that I've gone through so many experiences in my life. I know the pain of losing a loved one. I know the pain of losing a parent at a young age because I lost my parent, my mom, at the age of 7. And I know how devastating that is and how it affects um, every other thing. I've lost siblings before, so I know the pain of losing a loved one, and it has its own um, grieving process. And sometimes when I equate a divorce to a death, some people don't really understand. They don't get it. They look at you like, oh, it's not that deep. But truly it is because it's the death of something. It's a death of um, something you believed in that you were going to live happily ever after for the rest of your life. And you go through a process of grieving, a process of mourning that sometimes people don't know what to do with you. They don't know how to help, how to support. And as a result, most people do nothing, which can be very detrimental to the health and the healing journey or process of someone going through such an event. I've done. I've gone through the experience of just changing careers. I started as a banker. From there I went into business. I transitioned into IT. So I know what it means to constantly be evolving and to go through stages of transition, and it's not easy for anyone. It's not an easy process, but I think it's important to know how to navigate such situations in life because they will come. Such situations will happen. How do you navigate it? How do you move and evolve that you become the best version of yourself in that season? And as I was just thinking about it, I've been a coach my whole life. I just did not have the title. I've been really, really good at coaching people, and I've seen the results. And um, for me, my joy is seeing someone become the best version of themselves. That fills me up so much, and that is tied to my purpose. That's why I do what I do, because I love seeing people become the best versions of themselves. I like seeing people progress. I like seeing people do better with their life. And when you go through any form of transition, especially like divorce, there's a season or a period where you feel lost or you feel stuck or you don't know what to do. Because remember, when you're married, your identity changes in a way. As a woman, you pick up the man's last name, you leave your home, um you're joined to this person, and you're more or less putting them in charge of your life, which um that's not always the case. But when I say putting them in charge of your life, the decision that they make impacts you. It's not business as usual anymore. So at the end of the day, you go through this identity change, and sometimes when you are with someone, sometimes you go out of your way to make them happy. You go out of your way to do things that bring them joy. And there's nothing wrong with that, because, in my opinion, marriage should be two people constantly working to outlove each other. That's how it's supposed to be. Two people constantly trying to, one of the other person in terms of bringing joy. And don't get me wrong, no one is responsible for your happiness. You have to come in happy and whole. So it's not their job to make you happy, but they're supposed to add to the happiness you already have. Um, so your identity changes, and you're with this person, you are known with this person, you have mutual friends, you go to events together, you do a lot of things together, because marriage is technically two people becoming one. You go through a divorce and you feel so lost. It's like you've lost a part of your identity as a person, if that makes any sense. And it's a process for you to build that back up. It's a process for you to get your confidence back. It's a process for you to know where to pick up or pick off. It's a process for you to decide what you want to do with your life, the direction you want to go, the next move you want to make. It is a process. And during my own season of going through that, I wish I had a coach. I wish I had someone guiding me and helping me see the bigger picture and keeping me accountable. Because that's part of what that does for you. I wish I had someone that would have helped me to see myself the way others see me. And for me, anyone going, not just divorce, any form of transition period in your life, changing a career or becoming a new parent, motherhood, because motherhood too changes your identity, changes who you are. And a lot of times, we mothers, we end up just living for other people. I think some people were smart enough not to do that, but I fall in the category of women that I just forgot about myself. I abandoned myself totally, and everything was for my kids, for my family, and I became a shadow of myself. And so becoming a coach was no brainer for me, because if it's at least one woman that I could change their life for the better or help them to just make better decisions for their lives and become the best versions of themselves, then my work is done. And seeing the outcome in the people I talk to, the people I see, has been such a huge blessing for me. It has been so rewarding, so rewarding seeing women that were stuck and thought they couldn't even move on with their life. They thought that their story has ended, they could not rewrite their story. Talking to women that have lost themselves and they didn't even know who they were anymore. Talking to people that just, you know, they're just surviving. They're in survival mode instead of thriving. Talking to them and seeing the outcome in their life, seeing the change, seeing the light come back into their eyes is worth every second of it. And to answer the question, that is part of why I decided to become a coach, because I've lived through so many experiences and I have so much to share, and I know that you know that is a stage where all those stages I mentioned I've gone through. There are stages that if you don't have the right support or the right guidance, you waste so many years of your life, so many so many years of your life, and that's not the best way to live. So yeah, to answer the question, that is the reason why I became a life coach, because I have gone through stuffs in life, and that has made me well rounded because I'm coming from a place of experience. In addition to the professional knowledge and the expertise, I come with a wealth of experience and knowledge too. So I'm able to relate and understand where some of my clients are coming from, and I am in a better position to guide them to where they see the light, and that for me brings me so much joy and happiness. So yeah, I just wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk and talk a little bit about myself, which I don't like to do. I don't like talking about myself, but that's something I realize I'm having to do more often. And the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with doing that too. Because, like I said before, I'm also a private person. But I'm in this space where I have the opportunity to be a blessing to so many women. I have the opportunity to do some good in this world. And um, I know there's always a purpose behind any pain you go through. So if you're listening to me and you've gone through so many painful experiences in your life, know that there is a purpose behind it. You didn't go through all of that for nothing. And hopefully, God reveals that purpose to you and you run with it. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. See you and talk to you next time.